All right, William. So you know how they say in Mythica, let's do this Mythica.
Oh my god! I swear to God, Austin, I'm getting so tired of that. I'm getting tired. God damn it.
Right, hey William. All right, William. So hey, welcome to Mythica 3, the Necromancer spoiler cast. So as you know, it is currently Mythica theme time. All right, and we're just gonna go
I
through the entire Mythica movie series right now.
have you still not decided on whether it should be a week or a month?
I don't know. No, look, it'll be whatever I upload this as. All right. Look, we have a good catalog of spoiler cast recorded, and we got a lot of projects working on. We're writing the script for Guntica at this very moment. This is definitely not being recorded back to back with Mythica too.
Hey man.
We are
Hey
working
man.
hard. All right. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Okay.
Okay, it's not like we're gonna film fucking Mythica 4 and Kira Major back to back. No
No,
one needs to know
no,
about
wait,
that.
no, wait. I think that's Mythica. Hold on. No,
It
wait,
is
no.
Mythica.
That'll be Mythica 5 that we record back to back with Cura Major.
No, Kira Major should come out this. Remember, I told you.
No, but we record it on Friday. We just do it on Friday.
Oh, you just want to record it on Friday? Man,
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be the day after
No,
like
no, no, no,
the thing
no, no,
releases.
because the Cura Major video goes up on Saturday, so it makes more sense for me to record it for us to record it on Friday so that I can edit it and have it up for
Oh, because you released our episode on Saturday then.
yeah.
Okay, all
That's
right.
how
No,
it
that's
works.
fair.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
fine.
Welcome
All
to
right.
behind the scenes of Mythica 5 and Cura Major.
Oh my god, this is how it works apparently.
Yeah,
Not
look,
even I knew.
yeah. See, look, I tell you, look, it's all part of a system that we probably don't even have going on. Oh, I'm
we
using
have
the
we have
wrong.
a system.
I'm
What?
using the wrong keyblade. I just realized this. Whoops. Whoops.
God, dude.
I'm doing some Kingdom Hearts stuff right now.
God.
All right. So hey, so look
But
at the Mythica 3, the Necromancer. So William, story about this movie, okay? All right, the
mm-hmm.
story. So we use a lot of services to watch our movies, all right? Because we do all this stuff legally. So
Yep.
for Mythica one, so for this entire Mythica franchise that we're watching, we have Mythica 1, 2, 4, and 5 available, right? But for Mythica
Uh-huh.
3, right? It turns out that this full movie is just on YouTube apparently. So I had to watch Mythica 3 on YouTube compared for the other 4 Mythica movies when it's time to record these. It was so fucking random. I was so confused by why Mythica 3 is on YouTube, but the other 4 movies were available on our streaming service. It was so fucking confusing and out of nowhere.
I mean, strange things have happened.
Yeah.
And to be honest, though, if they put the third movie on there, why don't they put the rest of them on
I
there?
think
That
I
seems
think
odd.
Mythica 1 is on here as well.
Is it?
Yeah. It's on
All right,
YouTube.
I'm about to look it up. I'm about to look up to see
I
if
don't know if the entire Mythica franchise, but I know 1 and 3 are on here. If 3 is on here, I want to assume that what you would call it that 2 is probably on here as well somewhere.
Hold on, I'm gonna do a risky click. Give me a
Okay.
second.
Are you gonna look to find out the entire Mythica franchise is on YouTube or not?
I'm looking at Mythica 1 right now.
I know Mythica 1's
I
on
think-
YouTube.
Yeah, Mythica 1 is on YouTube.
And Mythica 3's on YouTube.
Um,
But I'm not sure Mythica 2's on YouTube or not.
oh, spoilers for Mythica 5.
Oh, is Mythica 5 on YouTube?
I mean, I don't think it's
Oh, hold on, no,
officially-
hold on. Mythica 2 is on YouTube. I think you have to buy Mythica 2.
Hold on, because I'm saying. Oh no, I see. Okay, Mythica 4 you have to buy. Hold on, because I'm looking at the movies. You got Mythica.
No. Okay, so
One.
no. Mythica 2 is
Mythica
on YouTube,
2.
but you can also
got-
buy Mythica 2 on YouTube.
Huh. Oh wait, but what? Okay, because like I see Mythica 1's free on YouTube, but then for some reason I see Mythica is also you can buy it on YouTube. So it's kind of strange to see it in a playlist like that.
Yeah, it's really weird how what the distribution for Mythica is.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very odd because like I'm assuming because from what I'm seeing I'm looking at it right now, and it looks like Popcorn Flicks has 1 and 2, and I'm assuming 3. I haven't checked because you have it on there, but like they have you're allowed they have these on their lists, and you can watch them for free here.
Mm-hmm.
But and I'm assuming they're allowed to.
Oh. Yeah. Oh hey, the
But
theme song for Mythica is it's also on YouTube, by the way. I'll Be Free. Apparently that's the theme song of Mythica.
oh, is because they always have a song playing at the end of the credits,
Yeah,
and I just never bothered to listen to it. Maybe because I don't want to sit through credits. But hey,
yeah. Oh god, this child looks really weird.
oh, I forgot. It's like along with Mythica, for some reason I'm seeing related to your search, Max Steel. I'm like, why? How's that in any relation to this at all? But all right.
All right,
Uh,
all right. Let's talk about Mythica 3, the Necromancer now.
okay. So, as per usual, I shall be reading from the Wikipedia plot
Okay, hey,
synopsis.
this movie looks like it has better effects, but at the same time, it looks like it had worse effects.
Yeah, that's fair.
This
That's
movie
fair,
literally
actually.
opens up with fucking with Virgil's fucking sword attack from Devil May Cry 3.
God,
This is literally
wait,
what this.
does it?
Wait, you've watched Mythica 3?
Oh, no, I know I did, but I strangely don't remember that. I very
It's
oddly
when
don't remember
fucking.
that.
I guess this is fucking. Who the fuck is this? Is this Merrick? Yeah, being trained by Gojin Pai. Gojin Pai literally does fucking Virgil's fucking sword attack from Devil May Cry 3. He
Oh, right,
fucking
when the
Gojin Pai
imaginary
has summoned
training and
swords.
stuff.
That's the name of the spoiler cast now, by the way.
God.
Gojin Pai. Yes.
Oh.
This guy
Because I'm going through it
literally.
right now.
I'm literally at the. It's literally within 3 minutes of the movie. Fucking Gojin Pai is using summon swords for no fucking reason. It's so funny.
Oh, yeah! Oh, right.
Okay,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
So,
All right, yeah, okay. That's it. Okay, no, okay. Now double my tangent about Gojin Pai's summon swords. You can talk about the synopsis now.
okay, synopsis. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah.
So, Merrick is beginning to master more advanced magic by training with Gojin Pai and receiving a staff from him, and
That's
even
right, and
helping
his
him
summon
stop some
swords.
orbs who set up. And even helping him stop some orcs who had set a trap for him. Although he reminds her that she needs to be careful about her necromancer powers that can lead her to darkness, because by taking life force from someone, it would be hard for her to come back from it. Fair, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he details a bit more of the past, which he began telling Merrick in the previous film, and about his former team of sorcerers and her team and their enemy. Sorry, Zorlak. Or Zorlok. I don't care. They
Matthew
were called
Mercer. We're just gonna call him Matthew Mercer.
Right. I mean, well, and their enemy, Matthew Mercer.
Matthew Mercer's the biggest enemy of all. Okay.
Okay, so they were called the Red Thorns. They were powerful and invincible. They also
Okay,
misspelled it,
like,
so that's
that's
why.
like the most
Yeah, I know.
Dungeons and Dragons team name I've ever fucking heard. That's what you fucking call yourself in Dungeons and Dragons, the Red Thorns.
Hey, man, Dungeons and Dragons is okay, but like, I play Dungeons and Dragons. You don't get to judge Austin.
Okay, what do you mean? I play Dungeons and Dragons too.
You don't get to judge Austin.
Okay, look. Just because David got my character in jail, alright, doesn't mean anything.
But anyway,
So you're gonna explain that to my friends who didn't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons? I have to explain to them how character building in Dungeons. Okay, we're gonna go off tangent real quick about Dungeons and Dragons when in Mythica. So I have to explain. So that time when we played Dungeons and Dragons, I had to explain to my friends about my character name, right? Because my character name was Odysseus, Texas, right? That was my character name because I didn't know what the word Odyssey was, right? Because I couldn't read the word. My character name was like really Odyssey, but I thought like this name is really fucking stupid. I'm gonna call myself Odysseus, Texas. And I have to explain that to my friends about my character name being Odysseus, Texas. All right, that's it. That's just my character story in Dungeons and Dragons.
Anyway, so also whoever wrote the plot synopsis, I'm not trying to bash on you or anything, but you misspelled invincible, and it's an I instead of an E.
Oh, is it still incorrect to this day?
Yeah, it still is. Can I edit this actually?
You can. Hold on. I want to see when was the last time someone edited this page on Wikipedia. Not counting the redirect. When was the last time? Fucking. It was just a random AI. Well, it was just a random user. This person has. Let's see.
I fixed it.
Oh.
They were powerful and invincible. There we go. The envy of the realm. And Zorlak wanted to stop the invading Vitalian soldiers. Also, they're apparently continents and stuff, but it's not very well established lore-wise within these films. There's very little in the sense of world building. Everything just kind of is. That's also kind of a failure of these films.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's just a brief thing. Also, whenever they say Vitalian, I always keep thinking, instead of Italian, I think they keep saying Italian. So it's Italian soldiers. That's what I've always heard. So whenever they say it, I'm like, why are they saying Italian?
What has this IP address? Oh wow, this IP address has edited a lot. This IP address strangely only edits on Mythica pages for some reason.
Well, at least someone's dedicated to Mythica.
Yeah, shout out to
maybe it's Arrowstorm. Maybe it's Arrowstorm. Who knows?
Shout out to this fucking Mythica fan.
But anyway, as I'm gonna continue. They were powerful and invincible, the envy of the realm, and Zorlak wanted to stop the invading Vitalian soldiers by becoming the Lich King and thus rising and controlling hordes of undead. By defeating Zorlak, one of the sorcerers sacrificed himself, and that led to the disband of the group, and also to the accomplished invasion by the Vitalian soldiers as a side effect. Excuse me. For the ritual to become the Lich King, after gathering the 4 pieces of the Darkspore, Zorlak will need other Necromancers, and that includes Merrick. So she must lay low as to not be found by Zorlak. Gojin Pai reminds Merrick that Zorlak already has 2 pieces of the Darkspore. So, meanwhile, Merrick and her group have become respected in Hammerhead's Tavern. They adopt the name of Red Thorns, and Thane becomes more involved with Teela.
I feel like this is the only location in this movie is this bar. This is the only location we establish in this entire universe.
It's like, oh yeah, this exists. Yeah. This physically exists.
Like, this is
Nothing else matters.
This is the only place that exists in these movies. Is this random bar.
Yeah, and so when he is taken hostage by Perigus Malister, the cruel master of the Thieves Guild, who is seeking revenge for having been forced to sign for the freedom of Merrick, she must embark on a corrupt mission to serve the Thieves Guild with her team of would-be heroes by retrieving some Illustrium from the Eel, his name later revealed to be Kelton, whose whereabouts are known to a captain named Purio, while in the midst of creatures called Gooches. Apparently, oh wow, they had a name, and also several Gogotians, as well as cave demons. Man, they are throwing names at me that I did not hear in the movies at all, except for cave demons. They did say that.
Oh.
But when the mission leads them into the clutches of Zorlak, oh wait, okay, hold on, this is very weird. Hold on, I'm going to read it. But when the mission leads them into the clutches of Zorlak, the greatest enemy, Merrick must sacrifice her ambitions and perhaps her own soul before her friends are killed to stop Zorlak from attaining
this is not even a full
Darkspore.
plot summary. This is just a fucking...
Yeah, that just sounds like something you would read off the fucking back of the DVD case.
Like everything at the beginning is like actually going to the plot, and then literally everything at this third description at the end is just a fucking advertisement.
Yeah,
this is like the longest plot. Like, imagine buying a DVD and this entire plot summary is what's on the back of it. Just everything you on this plot summary is on the back of it.
Gee, that's so odd. Oh, okay, but okay, I'm gonna stop it there because honestly, the last line is just something you read off the
back of the DVD.
The DVD, weird. And to be honest, the question is something we will be answering in this spoiler cast anyway.
Will Merrick and her friends survive?
No. But all right. So
yeah. So Mango Pie has summon swords. Okay.
Mango Pie.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Austin. I'm officially done. I'm leaving now. Goodbye.
You know what the worst part? This magic staff they have looks like it's a sci-fi prop. So I'm watching the movie again on YouTube. By the way, this movie's on YouTube. By the way, go support the viewing of this movie. Right? When you look at the effect on this fucking staff that Gojin Bai is using to train Merrick, it looks like it's pulsing like a sci-fi pulse. It doesn't look like a magic pulse, right? You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Are you looking at the staff? It's like 5.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like the way that it's pulsing with energy. It's like it's a sci-fi effect, which probably is a sci-fi effect because the studio Arrowstorm Entertainment does sci-fi movies, and this is like a sci-fi effect more than a magic effect, right?
Yeah, pretty much, because it doesn't feel magic-y, pardon the word, but it doesn't feel like
it doesn't feel like whatever's happening to the staff right now, where it's pulsing with energy, like, it looks so fucking weird, it looks so out of place.
Yeah, if it lit up rather than doing the streaming effect, that probably would have felt more like magic, but...
or like it was like glowing or some shit, like, it would make more sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but instead it's just streaming, and
Yeah,
it
we
gives
just-
off a sense of like here's the
Oh,
thing.
It's from the
Because if it's-
future.
Yeah,
This-
because
this-
here's the
this
thing.
stat
Because
is from the
streaming,
future.
like, no, yeah, but like streaming light like that, it's always gonna feel more sci-fi-ish, if only because of like data streams and stuff compared
yeah.
to what modern day is like.
Yeah.
If it was a glow effect, like something you see in nature, then it makes more sense
Yeah.
to be magic.
Mhm.
Editing 101, I suppose.
Yeah. But but you know what doesn't have a data stream effect? A gun.
Oh my god! I swear to God, Austin, we haven't even developed anything for this thing yet.
Look, we have the premise. That's all you need. We sell the story on the premise alone. Okay.
Oh my god, Austin, please.
How do you think Dark Phoenix got made? They sold it on the premise alone.
Oh my god. Why did they bring bloody Dark Phoenix back into this?
Oh, did you read the article that got posted on r/movie yesterday?
I did. Look, dude, I just recovered from Dark Phoenix, and then they post this, and then you bring it up again. I just recovered. I just recovered from that movie. Oh my god. God, that movie was a mess.
But don't worry, bro. It's not like Last Mutant, all right. Remember, William, I've been saying this since the beginning. Last Mutant will save the X-Men franchise, okay?
God, dude. Well, at least on the bright side, if I had to look on the bright side of things, at least it wasn't Origins.
God. This movie timeline makes no sense anymore.
I mean, it never made sense. They never bothered trying to make sense of it. Remember at the end of like freaking Days of Futures Past?
Yeah.
Or like, I think it was Days of Futures Past. I think it was either Days of Futures Past or Wolverine.
Yeah, when Wolverine went back to the future, and they got all the old actors that originally played the characters. Oh, by the way, we're off tangent again, talking about Dark Phoenix.
I know, but here's the thing. First off, in Days of Futures Past, that was kind of fine, because it's like they're messing with the original timeline anyway. But the thing is, it works because he might not be aware of it, because again, Wolverine's shtick is having missing memories. But another thing is like, it works. Okay, it works in the context of the film. Because, they fixed everything. They messed with things in the past. And, of course, like, characters who died in the previous movies would be back alive because he changed a lot of things, right? So that's fine. My thing is that, like, here's what happens. You have Wolverine. And I'm talking about just the Wolverine solo movie. Not Origins, mind you. But, like...
Which Wolverine solo movie? The one
the Japanese one.
Oh,
right?
no, that one. Okay.
Right, the surprisingly okay one that I was okay with, because it was just fun and it was Wolverine, but they had the after credit scene when he's like coming back, and then you get this thing where he
was
meets.
that the one he gets visited by Xavier and Eric in the airport?
I don't think Magneto was in the airport, but like. But yeah, Xavier comes in. Everyone freezes, and then he's talking to Wolverine. He's like, something dangerous has happened, right? But then they never follow up on that, and then Logan happens, and it doesn't make sense with everything else. So you're like, okay, but we got Logan, and Logan is basically the best X-Men movie ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So honestly, I'm fine, and even then, like it's kind of its own self-contained thing, and doesn't try to connect with anything else. Like, everything else with the X-Men movies could have happened, and Logan would have still happened anyway. Mm-hmm. Which is fine. But that's the thing. Then you get, like, freaking, you get, like, Apocalypse, and then, like, Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
Dark Phoenix and stuff. And it's, like, they don't really, like, they connect in their own thing, but they don't connect to everything else. Mm. And even then, they don't really lead up anywhere.
It's the new timeline, all right? New timeline, okay? They established the new timeline now.
Nothing doesn't even lead up anywhere. But anyway, let's get off this tangent.
Okay, yeah.
I'm very sorry for this. It's just, I know we go off on tangents all the time, but honestly, it's just like...
All right, yeah. So back to Mythica 3, the Necromancer.
One thing I will say... and I am still talking about Mythica here, is the fact that the prologue actually works here. Mm-hmm. Because, like, the prologue here, it basically opens up with basically soldiers invading these mines, and you get this one person in the mines who has his bag, right? And so he's... And he's a character that does show up later up in the film, and it's just like, oh, he's hiding something, and then he kind of runs away. But then you hear this ominous thing like going around on his head, and you're like, why is it like that? And then it cuts to the title sequence,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine because the thing is, with that scene, it actually makes sense later on because they actually talk about what happens. Like they're actually related to the events that they're trying to do because of the Thieves Guild. But because as you heard, they're trying to get like this ore called Lysicium or something like that. And then because they're expecting a shipment, and this guy who's in the prologue who is running away from these enemies, who are looking for him, and he's hiding them amongst the rocks or something. He's actually the guy that they're looking for. You know?
Yeah.
And it works. It makes sense. This prologue actually bloody works. Because it establishes that there's a threat. It establishes like, and it's a threat that you will see. But I mean, the second one kind of does that. But this one here is actually like more involved. I think it actually just feels like it works a lot better than the second one. I can't like, because it's like a character that it's a character that actually does get involved. He's actually explained properly. Because in the second one, they just because like, I never got the sense that the sorcerer was actually trying to hide the stone. I feel like he was trying to use the stone for something against the dragon, but then of course he gloriously fails and then gets eaten by the dragon to have the stone in him, or to put the stone in the dragon or whatever. It's very odd. So I was very confused by all of that scene. But in here, it's like, you're not confused. You just wonder, you know, and you're like, what is this guy doing? Why are these enemies here? And then that's explained later on. In the second film, they don't really explain it. They explain that they hid the fragments. They don't explain that the sorcerer was probably one of the sorcerers who was hiding the fragment, and then died in the process. You know, and it never felt really connected until he said Darkspore. I was like, oh, okay, but why was that guy there? That never gets explained until I read the Wikipedia section. But here it does get explained, because then it's like, oh, this is the guy we were looking for. These enemies here are looking for a Darkspore source. Or, I mean, you find that out later on when they get into the caves too, and you're like, oh, so that's why everyone's here, and that's why it makes sense for these characters to get involved, because, you know, first off, they're forced into it by the Thieves Guild, and then, you know, and then the Thieves Guild is like, oh yeah, we want this Lysicium, go get it for us. They go get the Lysicium, but they realize there's some bigger things at play once they reach there, and then it's like, oh. So that's why the enemies are here, for this Darkspore fragment. And it's like, oh, everything makes sense now. And here, at the very least, for Mythica 3, the story is actually rather coherent. I can actually follow along. Not like with the first two movies, when it's just it kind of bumbles along, but it's like, you're very disinterested in it, like, wait, what? Why this relationship? Why just suddenly throw it at us? Oh, okay, this is happening now. What? Huh? Which is what was happening with me when the first two films. And here I can actually follow along, and I'm actually very much interested. But man, I had to stop going on these rants.
Yeah.
Austin, you have to stop me.
No, William, no, it's fine.
Why don't you stop me, Austin? It's too much.
No, it's fine. You know these movies better than I do, even though I watched the entire Mythica franchise, alright?
Oh my god. But yeah, so it opens up with a very nice prologue, because it actually works. I know I keep repeating that. I'm very sorry.
But don't worry. At least the good thing is with the next two movies after Mythica, I actually remember, so I can actually make coherent conversations involving them. But fucking Christ, nice. Mythica's fucking up wild everywhere. Because due to the fact that I watched all 5 movies at once. And so it fucked up my memory because I have too much knowledge. Because everything I want to talk about probably doesn't happen until the next Mythica movie, like Hold the Door.
Fucking, you're gonna be like fucking Bran. Is that what I'm hearing now? You're gonna be like fucking Bran when he just absorbs all the knowledge of the world and becomes a fucking catatonic computer.
Look, I have too much knowledge. All right, this is too comprehensive. My Mythica knowledge is too comprehensive from your Mythica knowledge. Is the problem now.
It's like you look beautiful on that night sunset. Blah 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 blah.
All right, yeah.
So, but yeah, you basically get you get this. First of all, honestly, everyone was looking better with the set costumes. They actually look really, really good.
Oh yeah. Also,
Like-
hey, you know what the best thing? So, you know what my number one problem with Mythica 1, besides every other problem with Mythica 1? They can actually afford snow particle effects in this movie. I think this is the
Oh
movie
yeah,
where they had
it
snow
actually snowed. It actually looked like it snowed.
Yeah,
It was like
it wasn't a
wow.
cheap. I mean, I'm pretty sure there was still like the cheap snow CGI effect that you fucking put as an overlay, but no, but they actually make it look like there's actual snow because they actually have the whatchamacallit, the snow effect, wherever the fuck, like these little like snowflakes that falls on the actors, so it actually looks like they're actually in snow. So that was good.
Mm-hmm.
That was my one problem. That's what killed Mythica for. That was the deciding factor for Mythica 1, by the way. The fact that there wasn't no snow.
No, but yeah, that was yeah, sure, that's the thing. But fucking I mean, honestly, they got the. It's like everything in here in this movie is actually a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like a lot of the lighting is actually. It actually sets the mood rather well. To be honest with you, it's actually it gives off a darker tone.
There's better camera works in this movie. I noticed that they do more stuff. It doesn't look as bad. Yeah,
because it's like just to give a sense of like how bad the camera work was in 1 and 2. I'm usually looking at my phone and I'm just listening along until something happens. Like, huh? Oh, okay. Then I look down.
Yeah,
and
like,
it's I won't miss anything.
like the scene where Gojin 5 fights these zombie thingies. I guess these are zombies.
No, they're like necromantic monsters.
Yeah, whatever.
Zombies.
They're pretty much fucking zombies. Like at least the camera isn't fucking stacked, so they mess around with the camera where they're doing the fight scene, like with Gojin Pai, so it looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
The worst part, he doesn't use his summon swords. That's the problem in this fight.
That's true. Also, another thing here is honestly like the fight. Like I know we should have done it. I forgot to do it.
What?
But like, no. But in Mythica 1 and 2, if anything, the fight scenes weren't the greatest.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually kind of bland and bad, right? But in here, it's like I think it's also because of combination of the camera work.
Yeah.
But and also the director kind of knows how to direct a scene at the very least in the sense of action. A lot of the action just flows a lot better in the third one, because in the second one, like I'll redirect this back into Mythica 2, and I'm sorry we haven't talked about this in the second one, during the second one.
Yeah.
So, I know it's a weird thing I was saying right there, but like there's a scene where so this is after when Cole is like found out to be the traitor, so understandably Dagon is mad, and he actually tries to fight Cole while they're in the midst of the fight, while they're in the middle of fighting for their lives, but they have this fight, and it's just kind of like they're just kind of poking swords at each other. There's no real tension between the fight. A good sword fight, if anything, it shows it shows a lot of a dangerous sword play rather than just swinging the sword. Swords like moves that would go in for the kill, yeah. And it would show like, and the actor would also have to be kind of displaying either the reluctance or the ferocity into that fight, which wasn't really done well in the second one. And also, when I was paying attention to it, I was only like, when I'm watching this, because the fight was kind of like rather bad, I'm more paying attention to the background, and because of that, I'm looking at the background, and the people in the background, it looks like the director was just told, oh, just look like you're swinging the sword around, okay? Or stand there and just make a movement like you're trying to stab someone. But the thing is, you notice that they're not really getting involved in a fight. They're just moving around, moving their hands, and they're not. It doesn't look like they're attacking anything. They're just moving. They're just there to create movement. Around like to make a sense of chaos. But it doesn't work if they're not like. It doesn't work because they're not committing, or like they're not contributing to the chaos that they're supposed to be.
Yeah, they're not making the scene believable. Is what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's kind of the thing with a lot of these fights in 1 and 2, that this doesn't work. But in 3, it's better. It's not the greatest you'll see. Yeah. It's not like something you see in like John Wick or maybe Casino Royale, or for gunplay and stuff.
Yeah.
But
wait, do you know where there will be gunplay in? Mythica.
God damn it! Why? But yes, in Mythica. But like again, it's
working
like
title,
there's a better sense of direction and action flow, especially with the camera work and the people who are committing to the action. because they're actually, you know, physically getting involved in the fight and, you know, actually doing stuff rather than just, you know, sticking to the background and not really doing anything other than being told, oh, just swing your sword around. So that's a plus for this movie. There's a good number of pluses for this movie, even though it does have some negatives. But I feel like it's not its fault on its own, if only because it has to build off of the other two movies. But basically the character modes again is an issue here, but not so much because it's an issue with the older characters, with the recurring characters like Merrick and Thane and Tila and Dagon. It's a problem with them a little bit, but with the newer characters, they're actually afforded some like you know, some actual character traits, you know, some actual like sense of character that you can get from them rather than just being told or you know like just you know, just brief segments. You actually get to see a lot more of these characters. It's this thing that I've noticed with Magister's henchmen who accompanies them. Now, just to give, I guess, context. Now, of course, this follows off the second movie, where Magister is kind of pissed off that he had to sign away Merrick's freedom, and so you know these guys, the team is happy, everyone's fine. You basically get Tila, who's so like she loves Thing, but she's reluctant to kind of move into the next step of the relationship, and she kind of does back off because she has her vows to consider. So then Thane is like, okay, I understand, and I can respect that, right? It's like I can respect, I can back off, you know, I can respect what your wish is. It's fine, that kind of thing. So you know, it's like that kind of thing. It's like I understand if you don't want to be with me because you have this to commit yourself to. I understand it because I was a knight at one point too. I was a soldier. I think is the more appropriate term. I was a soldier. I've made vows. I also broke them. But if you don't want to do that, then that's fine. So I'll just back out of the relationship. We'll be fine. We're cool. And then it's like, oh no, but I do want this. And it's like, you know, and then she kind of commits herself to the relationship, forsaking her vows to her goddess. And so you get this moment where basically
this goddess,
later on,
which is an actual person. Found see, but this goddess like and not a stupid owl that they keep using.
Yeah, that's the thing too.
Yeah, we actually see what this goddess is.
Yeah, I know. Like you briefly see her in the first movie, but then she's just really like, you know, like honestly, I wish we didn't see the goddess in the first one because honestly, they don't really contribute much. She's just like a facet that we really shouldn't have been seeing. And it's just like it never really contributed to much because like as much as it was a character moment for Merrick to be like fuck the gods and I'll make my own way, it doesn't really do anything for her in the first movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like everything she did was like no, hold on, what was I trying to say? Because everything she did was on her own. She never relied on the gods before. If it was an issue before, then it would have been fine. And it was an interesting character moment, but it's like it happens in the moment of itself and doesn't contribute to anything later on in Mythica 1. At least for me. And so, but in here it's like, oh yeah, so she forsakes her vows, Tila, I mean. And so, you know, she sleeps with Thane, and then Thane gets kidnapped afterwards, and then she prays to the goddess, and nothing happens. Now, this is obviously a thing where at this point, for the rest of the team, they've just basically lost their healer, right? And so, like, now, this is also, like, what I'm going to mention here is a bit of a failing. But they don't really explore that with Tila. Basically, her having basically been cut off from the goddess, and you don't exactly see a crisis of faith with her, which I thought would have been nice. But again, that's not what they wanted to do with Sames. It would have been good. It would have been nice to see and actually get some character with her, other than, you know, oh yeah, I'm faithful to the goddess and I love Thane. That was about it. But if you got some crisis of faith, that would have, you know, shown more facets of her character, you know. But that's a thing that happens. So Thane is captured, and then you get more character with Magister here. Now Magister was always something of a dick, right? In the first and second one, but he seemed more like the butt end of a joke. But in the third one, he's actually rather a threat in the fact that he has Thane, he's captured Thane, and he can just kill him right off the bat. But and no one else can do anything about it, so they're forced to do what he says. And so again here, just so that I know, I was saying, oh yeah, new characters have no problems with showing up their character. Now this is where he comes in, where Malister is like, oh yeah, so do this for me, get me my shipments of Lysistium, and I'll let Thane go, right? And then it's like, but to make sure you're actually doing it, I'm gonna send you along with my henchmen. And I don't remember this henchman saying. I don't know if do you know, Austin?
No. Wait, you're asking me about something about the movie.
What now?
You're asking me about something about the movie. Of course, my answer is going to be no.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You don't remember the first three.
My knowledge of this movie is too vast.
God. Anyway, this is this weird guy who has a thing for beetles.
Okay. Is that what this guy does? Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Is this guy a common writer?
Yes, exactly. But he's this real shady guy, and he's he plays it well, in the fact that oh yeah, I'm a total dickbag. You will do as I say, or your friend doesn't get to live, that kind of thing. Because he's basically Malister's right hand man, and he does some really shady shit. He basically threatened this is where they follow him. He says, do as they say, and your friend will live. We keep on this pace, we do this and that. And then they get to the what do you call it, they go to the front lines to talk to the one guy who probably knows about the eel. Basically the person who knows about the shipments and stuff. And so they talk to the captain who's on the front lines. This is another thing also with the action, where it feels like it's a lot more involved. It's a little, you can tell it's fake though, because there's these arrows that are flying in the air, and whenever I notice them, it's obviously
I noticed that. I noticed that a lot with the arrows, but the arrows they shoot in this movie are obviously CGI arrows. Because real arrows, they can't afford real arrows, apparently.
If they did less of it, I felt like that would have been better. It was a bit too much, and I know they're trying to show off a large scale battle.
Yeah.
But with the frequency and how many arrows it is, and at the arcs that they are, it was just very fake to me.
Yeah.
And so it's it kind of distracted, but not too much. But you get this guy who is basically he comes across a fallen soldier who's basically just asking for water, and he's he's gonna die, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And he's like, tell me where the captain is. He's like, please, I need water. And instead of being like the guy who will just give him water and maybe he'll get an answer, he just squeezes down onto his wound and it's like, tell me where he is. Like, he's over there, that kind of thing. And then it's just like, you start to get a sense of how this guy is, and it also helps that Merrick is also there. It's like, oh God, you're a dick, and then she tries to do the good thing, but the guy's already dead. Mm-hmm. And then they find the captain, and then you see basically he's trying to get the captain to tell him where he is, but then Merrick is goes for the gentler approach, and then it's like, can you tell me where he is? And the captain's like, oh yeah, sure, he's right here. And then, they start to leave, but then the guy, who I suppose, if to give him a name, I shall call him Shade Man, or Shady Man, I don't know, interchangeable. But, he instead, he kind of takes a moment and steps back towards the captain and decides to kill him. And then to cover up his killing, he throws down these fire lanterns that are by the entrance and just basically burns the evidence to the ground. And of course, Merrick is very pissed off at it, and she kind of draws on her necromancy powers for a little bit, but then it's then she's like, kill me and your friend dies, and then it's just like, wow, man, you're a real dick. I like it. It's just this is I know my saying it doesn't mean too much, but with the way that the guy is, the directing and the acting here. It's you get his character basically, and it's very nice to just be like, instead of being like, ugh, just keep going, it's just like, oh, the character's driving the plot.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. We're getting his character. We're getting a sense of his character. Oh, glorious! Finally, character driven rather than plot driven. Mm-hmm. It's just nice, is what I'm saying. And but it's also nice too because rather you see him doing these things, and you get Merrick, who is also reacting to these things, and so in turn, this is how you get you reveal more and more of her character, rather than just being told, or just basically assuming it because they say that she is good and stuff like that. Because she's reacting to it, and it's very nice to see the actors having more to do in showing off those characters. It was very, very nice. So again, that's the plus here, because you get all these new characters, you get to reveal more character relating to the characters that we got to know in 1 and 2. So that was very nice. So at this point, I'm very much into the third movie.
Yeah.
So that's a plus, and you also get like Tila talking with the
shady guy.
With shady guy.
Yeah.
Because she kind of like she kind of talks to him because she's like he's like the only thing that would that's saving Thane, and I guess that's what she needs. Mm-hmm. Like something to kind of hang on to, and then she kind of talks to him about the Beatles and stuff, and you get this very odd you get another facet of this guy's character. He's just not this shady guy because he's talking about these Beatles and stuff, right? First of all, it's obvious that this guy is willing to be. He's like, yes, Beatles, the perfect organism. It was a thing, and then she's like, oh, so what do you whisper to them whenever you're talking to them? And it's like with the mood that they set, and the music that they play, which is also an issue in 1 and 2. Like the music is supposed to excite, but the action the action on camera and the way it's directed doesn't agree. It's not in sync with the music here. But in here, it's like this nice soft music and stuff, and it gives a suggestion that this is like a very rare intimate moment where you get to learn about this character, about Shady Man.
Yeah.
And it's just like he's like, I only whisper to them one thing, and then he says this in this very somber way, so it kind of hints at more of what this guy to this guy than we know, right? And he's just like, I just whisper home, and it's just like it was like, huh? I'm looking at it, it's like that was kind of nice. We're getting some character here. That's very interesting. And then also they do this thing again, so it's like I can kind of see why they're doing it. If only because the directors probably now I'm not trying to throw any flack at the director for the first 2 films, but they did switch directors for the third one, and he's obvious. I think it was here. I will have to look that up.
It's like Todd Howard or not like Todd A. Howard or something like that.
A. Todd Smith.
Yeah, that was close.
Excuse me, but yeah, I'm gonna assume he. I think it was like Andrew or something, but But yeah, he has a better sense of things, I will say, in terms of direction and pacing and mood and stuff. So it helps a lot. But I in here it's like we get a better interaction between Tila and Dagon, and you also get like a better establishment of a relationship between Dagon and Merrick. Because in the first 2, it's like in the first one the romance is just thrown in at the end between Merrick and Dagon, and in the second one they seemingly have no relationship. And when the conflict's thrown in, it's like, why do I care? They're not really in a relationship like that. But in here, it's like it just feels like it should have happened in the first movie, basically, where you get Dagon, who is he's coming along, and you get a conversation between Dagon and Tila, and it's like, he's like, I'm just in it for the gold and that kind of stuff. But then Tila kind of sees through that because she's in love herself. He's like, you're not here for the gold. You're here for Merrick. And it's just like, he kind of acknowledges that. He doesn't say it, but his silence kind of tells. And it's just kind of nice to see, like, oh, you're actually kind of trying here to establish a very good relationship between these two. It's like you establish a camaraderie between Tila and Dagon, which they didn't really have, other than, Dagon being kind of a womanizer and talking to Thane. And he talks to Thane, he's like, oh yeah, I can see why you're into her. She's pretty hot. And Thane he doesn't take kindly to that. because that's someone that he's in love with. He's like, don't talk to her like that, about her like that, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And that was fine, but it's like there was never really anything between Dagon and Tila, or Dagon and anyone else, except for the stuff that was thrown in at the end in the first one for Dagon and Merrick. But in here, it's like you're actually establishing a relationship between Dagon and Tila. Basically, they're like, oh, they're friends, but they're also they're opening up with their relationships, or Tila is at least trying. And Dagon is not exactly pushing her away. And then it's just like, he doesn't get like, he doesn't get mad at her or anything. But they have this nice talk, and it's just nice to see some character happening. So here, the character takes precedence, it seems, and it's fucking glorious.
Mm.
And so afterwards, you get this you also get like a talk between Dagon and Merrick. If you please excuse me for a second while I watch this scene.
Yeah.
Just to remind myself.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
No, yeah. So you get this thing where like Dagon is just like talking with Merrick. I think it's about like they had a kiss at the I remember this now. They had a kiss like last night, but like Merrick would like to do it, like continue on with it, but then she doesn't, and then Dagon respects that, and then it's like the next morning, and then they kind of have this talk. It's like, oh, nothing really happened. It's like, it's fine and stuff like that. But I think here, if I remember correctly, Dagon is kind of reassuring Merrick about how she's it's fine, it's whatever, and you're a good person. It's like whatever, it's that kind of stuff. And that's kind of great because you actually have them talking. You get a sense of the relationship between these two, and it's fine. And it's also I mean, what's funny to me, Austin?
What?
Like, with the way this movie's acting, it feels a lot like this movie is ignoring the second one. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
It has to acknowledge it, but it kind of ignores the second one a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, throughout this whole thing, I don't think they've ever mentioned Cole, They just, like, because that's the thing, because Dagon and Merrick are getting back, and they're establishing a relationship, but there's no mention of Cole anywhere. And there's, like, it doesn't, like, I know she's reluctant, Merrick, in here, but it never mentions as to why, and it's fine, because, she could just not want to, and it's fine like that, right? But, like, I figured the reason why she wouldn't want to is probably because of Cole. Maybe she has a trust issue with that because the person that she was getting close to was betrayed or whatever, but that's not mentioned or anything, and it's just like it's just not said, The second happened, and that's it, and that's sort of fine, and this is like the movie's kind of going on its own, just kind of reestablished its relationships and actually trying to make them work. Which is what the third movie feels like it's doing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, yeah, okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, God, Austin, stop me from ranting. Oh, my God, it's been 48 minutes.
Look. This is called a spoiler cast for reasons. When we discuss about the movie and my infinite knowledge about this movie that I definitely remember. All right.
Yeah, okay, sure.
I definitely remember a lot about this movie, okay? Like this scene where Matthew Mercer is a dark wizard. Or a dark elf.
No, he's just a necromancer. What are you saying?
Dark wizard, elf, all the same thing, okay? All the same.
Okay. Also, what's also nice here, I will say real
There's
quick.
There's a lot of free movies on
like,
YouTube. I just fucking Christ. I'm just going through the YouTube free movie catalog, and I don't know any of these fucking titles I'm looking at. Jesus Christ. The only one I recognize is the Forbidden Kingdom so far. Just look at
the only one you've recognized is the Forbidden Kingdom, really?
Yeah. Well, hold on. There's Journey to the West with Jackie Chan, but other than that, I look at the free YouTube movies, like, and these are all fucking titles I never fucking heard of.
Jeez.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, another thing I will say, real quick, just off the bat, like, there's a better reaction with the actors actually looking at CGI animals here.
Mm-hmm.
Because...
Oh, there were CGI animals in this movie?
I mean, also not animals, but in the sense, but like I say animal, but I'm talking about like the beetle. The beetle with the guy that the shady man takes care of is all CGI.
Oh, I definitely noticed
Except
that.
except
Yes.
for maybe one scene where he actually has a beetle on him.
Oh.
I'm not entirely certain that was CGI or not, but that doesn't matter because like he tells like the beetle to fly home, right?
Yeah.
And then the beetle actually flies, and then the beetle flies towards Dagon, and the character actually reacts as if the beetle is actually flying towards him. He actually jumps out of the way, and then everyone else is actually looking at the beetle as it flies off. So there's actually it's like oh yeah the beetle is actually there. So their reaction to it is actually a lot better, you know. And it's just like it's better than what you saw before, when like if they're like looking like reacting towards like a CGI animal like in the first and second movie, like the ogre and like
Yeah.
the,
Yeah. I remember that ogre from the first. That's
and
something
the
I actually
dragon.
remember from the first movie.
Yeah, because the thing is like they'll react to it, but you don't believe that they're reacting to it, right? But in here, it's like they're actually involving CGI and the actors together on the same screen, rather than them cutting to CGI animal and then cutting to actor.
Yeah.
Because because it's rather obvious when they cut to actors, there's being okay. Now pretend there's something there. Just look terrified, and they'll do it, and that's fine. But in here, in the third movie, you'll see the guy. He's actually pretending that there's something there, and then he's like he sends it off, and then you have the actors reacting to the CGI animal on screen, and it's just like it's just like it's a lot smoother in reaction and stuff. It's not you don't have to cut from actor to animal to actor. You know, and it's a lot better here. So it's just like you get a lot more from this movie. Is what I'm saying. It's because it just does everything better.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that I might have a problem with is still probably the CGI and possibly the sets.
I mean,
Well, no.
I mean, the set design is always fine. They're filming this out of Utah, so
Yeah, I know, but we actually got some
If you were to
variation,
show
yeah.
me Utah in an actual fantasy settings, I can't tell you the difference. All right.
You know what? That's fair enough because you do actually get them walking in snow and stuff, so it actually feels like they're walking into a different region.
Yeah. This
So
actually feels. Like the tavern and stuff. Okay, so I'm definitely not just clicking on random scenes in this movie right now. I'm right, but the set design and everything, it looks good. Like well, with the exception of when they're in the dark spooky tower with Matthew Mercer, right? Like this looks really fucking bad, right? The CG of this dark tower, but the set, the landscape and everything looks pretty fucking good.
No, that's fine. I think my big thing here is like there's probably CGI sets is what I'll say too because they actually do have that at the end.
Yeah.
When
when they're like at the forest.
Yeah, if you remember when they're surrounded when they're trying to escape with the Darkspore fragment.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And then you get Matthew Mercer's character and then he kind of teleports Merrick away, trying to seduce her to the dark side essentially. You know? And then you have them like I don't know, it's just a weird place. I don't know if it has a name or anything. It might have some relevance later on.
Utah. We call it Utah too.
No, but if you look at like let me get the timestamp here for you. Skip ahead. Yeah, around a minute 15, 19 seconds. If you I think if you skip to that, you can see what I mean, right?
Yeah, that's what I say. Like the effects in the tower.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Is that a tower?
Oh wait, hold on. No, the outside. Hold on. I wasn't there yet. Minute 15. What? When they're fighting in the snow?
No. Okay, let me share the screen with you. We're gonna go into
Well, we're gonna deep dive this. Oh, okay. We are gonna break down this scene.
Ooh.
Ooh.
But this right here, you see it, right?
Oh, that. Yeah, you mean like that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
We're definitely not online on YouTube. I was looking at this on YouTube. That's why.
Okay, no, that's fine.
The avoid of anime girls.
Oh.
What
That didn't happen.
accidentally left the call.
That didn't happen. Okay. That didn't happen.
Yeah, but no, yeah, those set design, but like I'm talking about like the natural landscape design, like when they're outside in the open field, like those are fine.
No, yeah, those are fine too. But there was this, I remember there's this really odd thing, and I don't know why this happened. I think it might be because Mercer wasn't able to actually be on location. It might be why. But there was this part where like they're on an actual physical landscape.
Yeah.
But then you see Mercer kind of CGI'd
Yeah,
on there.
yeah. I just saw that scene. It looks really fucking weird. Yeah, but
Yeah.
and then every time we actually see Matthew Mercer's character, we don't see him. We just see like so Matthew Mercer's character wears like this spooky ghost hood, right? So, but every time we actually see Matthew Mercer's character, right? Unless it's like a close-up shot of his face, everything is always filmed with his face cover. So when they're on set of like when the fucking thief guy is struggling on the ground, we see Matthew Mercer's character approaching, but we don't see his face. We just see like this hooded character, and then when we cut back to see his face, we see like this obvious CGI background he's behind. It's really weird. I guess they could have get Matthew Mercer to Utah apparently.
I mean, I think it might just be because like he couldn't be there. Yeah, but like there might have been scheduling conflicts. Mm-hmm. So I feel like they actually filmed him behind a green screen.
Yeah.
And then took his character, or not his character. They took him basically when they filmed it in green screen, and put him on and they also filmed on location, but just an empty space.
Yeah.
And they just took him and put him in that space. Mm-hmm. And so it's just very odd and awkward when I saw it. And it was like very. It actually kind of took me out. Like his acting is fine and all. It's just him being like put in there like that. It was just very off-putting.
Yeah.
And another thing that was really off-putting. Again, this still has to do with CGI animals. Is like now this is at the end of it. Now when they're escaping, and then you have Merrick and Dagon escaping riding on the horse. And they're on a CGI horse, and they CGI it on the when they're riding away back to Thane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, I see
Excuse
it now.
me, my throat is a little parched.
Yeah, I see it now.
That's a lot of talking I'm doing.
Yeah, wait. This shot would have been expensive, all right? That's why.
Mm-hmm.
That's expensive. Look, horses can't run in snow. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, but it's like the thing is, it's like if they're gonna do a scene like they could have just taken that scene out and just cut to them in another location riding that horse,
Well,
like it felt unnecessary.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thing. A lot of it is just a CGI, and and again, I should go back onto the character. Like they still do more to establish a relationship between Dagon and Tila. Like they're like now at this point they're caught. They were Merrick's in the mines with the eel, and she finds out that the lysicium is has been created by a fragment of the Darkspore.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense that the enemies is there because they know the lysicium has been made by the Darkspore, so they're looking for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get this moment where the eel is like. There was this weird filter, not filter, this sound coming out around his head, and so you're like, "What is that?" This is in the prologue, but then you learn that that the weird sound happens when Merrick and the eel find the Darkspore, and you're like, "Oh, so that's the Darkspore." So in this sense, in the third movie, the Darkspore acts a bit like the Ring in the Lord of the Rings, and in that it's kind of influencing the eel, and so the eel is like. Basically takes the Darkspore, knocks Merrick out, and then runs away with it. And then you get this you get more of these nice character moments where Merrick is like lost in the cave, and she's at the dark moment with her in the movie where she kind of just like, I'm lost, I have no way to get out, I'm doomed, that kind of thing, right? And now earlier, just to explain this, Shady Man again, he's trying. He wants the stones. He wants a shipment. Eel promises to get the shipment, and then they go try to find it, and then the eel tries to run away with it, and he almost kills the eel, but then he gets killed by the enemy. These enemy soldiers. They're not orcs. I don't remember what they're called. I'm just gonna call them the enemy soldiers. These grunts. I'm gonna call them grunts, and so the grunts kill him, but before he dies. Because he had this moment between Tila and Shady Man.
Yeah.
It's this kind of sad moment where it's like Shady Man gives Tila like the beetle that he had left.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like he didn't have to do that, but he does, and then he dies. It was like, it's like I guess he was he was a little nicer than you would think. I mean he's still a piece of shit, but he's still nicer, at least to the people who try to get to know him like Tila, and so it's just like it was a very nice moment here.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, fast forward. The thing is, Tila and Dagon are caught. And so they're tied to the pole, and then again this is kind of that moment where this is where like they're tied together, and it's like man, I guess we're in it now. And then Tila's like, well you didn't come here for just goes like, nah, I was in it for the gold. It's just again this is a moment I was talking about earlier, where they kind of talk about it, where Dagon was here for Merrick and stuff. Tila's like, oh, I know that look. You're here for Merrick, and then you get this nice also character moment here too, where Dagon kind of speaks in Elvish, and then she kind of understands that, and she kind of responds like, it's not your strength is not a weakness. Everyone has weaknesses, but that isn't one or something like that, and it's just very nice. But then you get the stuff that happens later on, which now here's where it kind of fails for me. And I'm not putting on the fault on this movie or the director here, but it's honestly rather on the previous two movies itself, because there's this big moment where now this I like, because I kind of like it at this moment where Merrick and Matthew Mercer. Basically, Matthew Mercer is trying to seduce her to the dark side, transporting her away from one place to another, where they transport in some secret place where you don't know where it is.
Mm-hmm.
Then they transport again, and in front of Thane, and then she's reminded of Thane's predicament, and she and Matthew Mercer's character is basically like, it's like you have to use necromancy to save your friends. This is the only way you'll be able to save them, and then you get visions of her easily taking down the enemy and stuff like that, and saving her friends. And it's like, but you have to use your powers, this darkness inside of you, that kind of thing. So it's a very, Emperor Luke thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and then you get visions, like, and he says, look, your friends are falling, they're dying. And then you see, like, this is where, like, again, the action is actually rather decent here, where you see Tila and Dagon fighting for their lives. And they're killing people, but then you see Tila just straight up take 2 arrows, and she's like done. She can't do anything else. And you see Dagon, he gets a few kills here and there, but then it's like he ends up getting a slash on the back and he falls. He gets a deep sword cut and stuff, and he can't fight anymore. And so she decides she's like, no, I won't be like that kind of thing. And then again, they still try to fight, but they can't. And then you had this moment where Tila says, "Take my life force. I'm giving it willingly to you." And she's like, "I don't want to do this." It's like, "You have to." He's like, "Do it, please. Just save yourself, save Thane." And then she kind of prays to the goddess, and so she's like, "Goddess, witness this act or whatever."
Yeah.
And then you get Merrick, who basically takes her life force. And also there's, again, the CGI doesn't work here. And I really wish they didn't do it. I wish they did some makeup or something instead. But you get, like, Merrick's taking the life force, and then you kind of see Tila kind of disappear from the bottom up. So it's very clear CGI at this moment. And it just doesn't really, I don't really like it. It doesn't work for me. But also the thing is, this is a big moment where you're sacrificing a character and like someone who Merrick cares about and stuff, and it's like this should have been a very sad and impactful moment, because then she uses the power to just fuck everyone else up, including Matthew Mercer's character, who he survives, it's obvious, but he disappears, and then it's like everyone else kind of all the other grunts die. But as much as it should have been impactful, or like I should have been sad at this, I wasn't. If only because while they do their best to kind of establish like a good character relationship between everyone, like with Tila and Dagon, which is kind of the main focus here, to kind of like you like, oh, they have these nice moments together with Tila and Thane, and then there's also moments with Tila and Merrick I forgot to mention, where she's like, oh yeah, there's goodness inside you can do good, you'll be able to do it, that kind of stuff. Like they're supporting each other, that kind of thing. And they do that, and that's fine. So I do kind of care, I will say, just a smidgen. But I have all the other two movies beforehand, and honestly, there wasn't a relationship there. And if there was a relationship in the previous movies that built into this one, it would have been a lot better. But it wasn't, because as far as in my eyes, the first two movies were rather very much failings.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't work too well, and so it's like this movie would have been a lot better if it had something else to jump off of. But the movie is fine on its own. It's just that it would have been a lot stronger if it had the other two movies to back it up.
Yeah.
And so then you get these moments where like you get these more awesome character moments. They go back, they rescue Thane. Malister is being a dick, saying, "Oh, I'll just kill him anyway and kill you two as well." And then they try it, but then Merrick is at this point where she's basically like in the beginning when she was training with Goshen Pai. There was this thing where like there's these mystical arrows that ended up right in front of Merrick, and then they go through it. She fails that. Yeah. This comes back around, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, oh yeah, so you have to be better at this. You have to be smarter. You have to fight better. That kind of thing. And then when she arrives, all these arrows fly at her, and the same thing is basically a callback to the first scene that you see when she was training with Goshen Pai. And then she stops the arrows, and then you realize, oh, she's come into her own. It's come full circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it works here. It's so much better, and it was actually rather satisfying to see that she actually did this, and she's still using the power that Tila's life force gave her. So it's like she learned a lesson here, because again, it's also a thing where a character moment between. I know there's a lot of things that have to tie up here or connect, but like. She had a conversation with Goshen Pai, as I mentioned in the Wikipedia post, basically saying, "Oh yeah, we had to sacrifice someone, and that disbanded everyone else." And she's like, "But you will have to learn that one day. I'm just worried that when that day comes, you won't be able to." And the thing is, she has done that with Tila, and then she comes back and she's grown to her own, and then it's like, oh, it's a full comeback, and it works really well. Is what I mean. And you get these nice moments where Thane is actually really angry at Malister because he's the reason why, like, he doesn't blame Merrick here, which I felt like should have been a thing because she is the Necromancer, but then, Dagon was always like, she had to sacrifice herself, so I guess that might be why. And honestly, I don't think he would be mad at Merrick anyway because of the whole, you saved my life type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, it's the thing. But I wish there was a moment for that too. And then,
fuck, I forgot to save.
You always save, Austin. Always spastically save.
Yeah. I forgot to save. I forgot to save after the autosave.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
So basically they kill Malister and stuff. You get these moments where like everyone's sad. Dagon's trying to reassure Merrick that it's not her fault, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because she didn't want to, but it was Tila who was offering it up, not you just forcibly taking it from her, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and you get these moments where they're stronger than ever, but they did suffer a loss and stuff. And then you get Merrick, who's basically come into her own, and then you get Dagon and Merrick who have a final talk at the end, and they'll be like, okay, on to the next adventure, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like
on to Mythica 4 is what they say.
Yeah, onto Mythica 4. But it's so much better. It's like you get all these characters, like they actually have relationships, they actually talk together. This movie is
definitely better than Mythica 1 and 2 because they do a lot more. I feel like this movie, they took everything, like I said, it's like what I said at the beginning of Mythica 2 when we were recording. Like, hey, this movie just goes on a wild ride. It just goes up. Yeah,
and it's just like, man, I just wish like. The thing is, like, I know, like, now I'm gonna be referencing back to the podcast, what I said in the second video for Mythica 2.
Yeah.
But
hey, go watch the video for Mythica 2, by the way.
Yeah. So like in Mythica 2, like I feel like at this point Mythica 2 should have never existed.
Yeah.
Because like the thing is, at this point it's very clear that the plot. Like nothing in that contributes to the third movie. Nothing in 1 or 2 contributes to the second or the third movie is what I mean.
Yeah.
And it's like if they did what I would like in the second podcast. I'll say. I don't know what's a better word for podcast. But in the second podcast for Mythica 2, basically, I said that that like all like there's that subplot where basically with Malister, where all of Malister, anything involving Malister should have been in one, and then you get rid of the second movie and then made Necromancer into that movie, you know. Basically, it should have went from the subplot. You take subplot from 2, put it into 1, and make 1 a more complete and better story with more character moments in it, like they did in 3, and then instead it should have went Mythica, the Quest for Heroes, and then Mythica 2, the Necromancer, rather than Mythica 2, what we got, you know?
Yeah.
Because Mythica 2 was honestly just a waste of time. Mythica 1 was a setup, which I can understand fine. But if they did what they did in the second one by taking that subplot and using it in the first one, then that would have been a vehicle so like, oh yeah, you know, you establish these character relationships and you establish a future threat in the next movie. And then that would have been the Necromancer. And this would have been where she learned about her powers and then, you know, learns about the enemy ahead, where we actually experience the enemy ahead, and then it's just like, it would have been fine. It would have worked so much better. So it's just like, Mythica 2 was a waste of time. And if we needed a first one, it should have been basically Mythica 1, but you take that whole quest, put that into a first half, and then the second half is basically, because you establish relationships in the first half, they defeat the ogre, they bond through that experience, and then the second half, Masters takes Merrick, and then it's them just trying to rescue Merrick, and then, you know, you establish relationships between everyone else, and then it would have been like, oh, you know, this is great, this is fine, this is good. And then it's like, because they defeated Malister, then it's like, oh, more adventures. That would have been a complete story in and of itself. Even though we had that little hanging plot, it's like, but what about that power that she had? What about what was that? And then, you know, then it would be onto Mythica, the next movie, and then it would have been the Necromancer. And then you get answers for Gojin Pai. It's like, oh, you've really grown into your own, but you still have much to learn. And then, you know, you get more backstory as they're training. And he's basically saying, "Oh yeah, I used to have this old enemy. He was a necromancer, just like the power. He used powers just like you." And then she would have learned about that. And then and then here you could have maybe had it so that she's kind of struggling to kind of control that, because then that would have made the whole thing with Matthew Mercer's character seducing her into the dark side a lot more impactful. And then, you know, like she's having problems like not using her necromancy, and then, you know, you would have had all these like. Then it would have worked a whole lot better with the whole quest thing as well, because then it's like, oh yeah, first movie happens with Malister, and then the consequences of that falls into the second movie, which is then the Necromancer, and it would have been so much better. And then we wouldn't have needed the second one. But that's the thing. It's like, it's not perfect, and honestly, I have the benefit of hindsight here. But the thing is, with hindsight, you get to learn a lot more, and as I'm sure they did here. Because after they made these two movies, then they're like, you know what, let's do this instead, and then the Necromancer happens, and it's great, and I love it. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good movie. Yeah. So now I'm actually invested in the series. It only took me 3 movies.
Yeah. So you know what they always say? Let's do this third movie.
Oh my god.
That's what they say. Let's do this third movie.
Yeah, sure. Also, I'm going to say this. If anyone's wondering why I'm not giving ratings, I'm just waiting until I'm finished all of them.
We're going to rate them all at the end?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, okay.
Although you can probably get a sense of what I would rate the first 3 anyway, from how I just gush over the third one and I just hate on this first 2.
Yeah.
So, but, you know, it's something you have to wait for, if you care.
Oh, cool. I got the item. All right.
I don't think anyone listens to this, but that's okay.
That's fine. Hey, people listen to this, William, all right? The YouTube analytics said so, okay? It's not a lot, but I appreciate the people that listen to us, all right? That listen to our fucking stupid spoiler cast where you can watch the movie. William, this spoiler cast for Mythica 3 is as long as Mythica 3. I just want to point that out.
Is it really?
Yeah, you've been going on for a while with your tangents about Mythica, all right?
Look, I'm sorry. It's just this is such an improvement, and it's actually a pretty good movie.
They fixed a lot of things with this movie. I really like this third movie way more because they took a lot of stuff and they made it better. Like, I love the camera work in this movie is way better. The camera work in this movie is way better in this movie than the first 2. The effects they're still low budget, but I'm not gonna fucking complain from a small indie company from a small indie company and their budget effects. All right, they look they got to show in the CW. All right, that shows something. All right, that shows how far they come. All right, but yeah, I really like this third movie way better. They do a lot more.
Yeah,
They
it's
definitely do a
honestly
lot
pretty
more.
great.
They definitely do a lot with this movie.
They're really getting a sense of themselves.
Yeah,
don't
worry, but wait till you see Mythica 4.
Oh god. Okay. Well, I mean, as long as it gets better, I'm fine with it.
Yo,
but you're telling me it goes on a wild ride.
Well, dude, everything we learned so far about this universe is like, oh boy, hey yo, it's Mythica 4, the fourth one.
Oh god. Is it the quest for peace, or is it like what?
I mean, there's a quest for something in Mythica 4.
All right. Well, to be honest though, with the way the third movie went, I'm honestly actually kind of excited for the fourth one.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
But remember, keep this in mind as you watch Mythica 4. Hold the door.
I swear to
God.
God.
Or Mythica 5. It's one of them. My Mythica knowledge is too comprehensive at this point for me to remember which one is which.
Well, I mean, at least you know the difference between the fourth and the fifth one, at least.
Yeah.
So,
that's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. All right.
Well,
all right.
Yeah,
we went for a while. This is longer than every single other Mythica movie. I think this might be the longest spoiler cast we've done so far.
I like this. No, I'm not going to talk about the second one anymore. I'm done with the second one.
All right. Thanks for watching. Coronavirus is still a thing. Wash your hands. Okay. Thanks. Bye.